Hello everyone, my name is Hussein Amin, and the bird I chose to present about is the Toco Toucan. There are two reasons why I chose to present about this bird. The first one is that their physical appearance is very fascinating. They have an amazing black coat of feathers with a white coat on their throat, and they also have a massive bill that really catches a person's eye. Second reason is because of all the toucan species I could have picked from, the Toco Toucans are the largest of them all. Generally, they are diurnal, meaning they are active during the day and they get their rest at night. Their common name is the Toco toucan, and their scientific name is the Ramphastos toco. These birds come from the order named Peciformis. There are 9 families that make up the order, and they contain about 450 species. The family Toco toucans come from is called Ramphastidae. The family consists of 6 genera and over 40 different species. The genus in which this bird was found is called Ramphastos. There are 8 species that belong to this genus, and they're all considered to be toucans. The Ramphastos toco is the most common one of them all. The toco toucans are found in several countries in South America and also located in southern Mexico, Central America, and northern Argentina. They all live in primary forests and rely heavily on the availability of fruiting plants. In order to satisfy their dietary needs, toco toucans tend to move from habitat region to another. The birds take shelter in hollowed out trees that are usually created by woodpeckers. Their body is mainly black with a white chest and throat. The upper tail coverts are also white, while the undertail coverts are red. People mistake the blue near the eye as their eye color, but it's actually a thin skin around the eye. These birds are known for their enormous bills, which range from 6 to 9 inches long. The bills are usually a yellow-orange color with the lower sections of reddish-orange and a black base on the tip. The bills may look bulky and heavy, but they're actually pretty light because most of it is hollowed out. The bird on the right with the rainbow-looking bill is called the keel-billed toucan. It is also from the Ramphastos genus, but it comes from the species Ramphastos sulphuratus. Toco toucans are very easy to differentiate when it's compared to its relatives. Toco toucans are the largest of its kind, so in comparison are larger, and also their bill is the largest of them all. So they're usually about 25 inches, and their bill is usually around 8 inches. The color of their feathers and bill are also different compared to their relatives. They're the only ones with a black coat mixed with the white chest and throat. These birds primarily eat fruit, however, they will eat prey such as insects, smaller birds, and lizards. The large bills are useful as a feeding tool because it allows them to reach fruit on branches that are too small to support their weight. Also, the sharp edges on the bill are useful for peeling fruit. They tend to feed either individually or in small flocks in the canopy they live in. The large bills of these birds are often thought to be used in mate competition, but there is no evidence to prove this. However, they use their bills in a mating ritual which determines whether or not they will be mating together. The ritual consists of the male or female initiating a fruit toss with its potential mate. When the ritual is over, the male mates with the female. Generally speaking, they will lay 2 to 5 eggs, and the eggs are then incubated for 16 to 20 days by both the father and the mother. These birds tend to hop rather than fly. Their wing size are very tiny, so they act more as gliders to take them short distances. These birds are extremely social and spend most of their time in pairs and flocks. There are distinct sounds that these birds make. One sound sounds like a frog mixed with a pig. Let me see if I could. Here's what they sound like. Yeah, so it sounds like a frog mixed with a pig, really. At least to me it does. Um, a cool fact I found is that, unlike almost every other bird, these birds become noisier as the day progresses. Came across an interesting story that says when the Europeans first arrived in the Americas, the toucan was actually one of the first birds they would have seen. Some of you have heard of the cereal Fruit Loops. The cartoon mascot for the cereal is actually a Toco Toucan. He goes by the name Toucan Sam, and he is one of the most famous cartoon mascots in the cereal business. The article that most interested me is called Abundance and Frugivory of the Toco Toucan in a Gallery Forest in Brazil's southern Pantanal. The authors studied the abundance of Toco toucans as well as the availability of fruit in a gallery forest in order to assess the relationship between these two parameters. They also examined toucan foraging activity to analyze its relationship with toucan abundance and fruit availability. The results showed that the presence of the Toco toucan was more commonly in the gallery forest from the middle to the end of the dry season and during the middle of the wet season. They forage for fleshy fruits, which mainly were the Junipa americana, and they were also feeding mostly on Junipa americana, which was by far their favorite fruit. When the fruit availability was declining during the dry season, more than 80% of the foraging activity consisted of the Junipa americana. The abundance on the abundance of the birds in the gallery forest was associated with the availability of the most commonly consumed fleshy fruit and with its foraging activity. These observations suggest that the Toco toucan moved to the gallery forest occasionally in response to the availability of abundant food resources, especially the Junipa americana fruits, which were widely available and exploited during the extremely dry season. They concluded that the fruits potentially contribute to the Toco toucan persistence in that area during the harshest period of the year. The population of Toco toucans are decreasing, but their conservation status is at least concern at the moment. The reason for this is because they adapt so quickly that they are able to survive. The decrease in rate is really slow at the moment, which is a good thing. However, their their biggest cause of extinction is due to predators such as snakes and jaguars. Humans are another cause of their decreasing rate because they are removing huge chunks of the rainforest. I hope you all enjoyed this PowerPoint presentation and learned something new about these amazing birds. Thank you.